back-to-back Leaf games where they don't show up. The second game in a row, they get obliterated. Obviously last game against Dallas, they were down 5-1 after the first period, which is awful. And in this game, you come out first and you score, right? You think, okay, here we go, right? Mitch Marner scores his 13th of the year, assisted by Bozak and JVR, of course. And you think, okay, 1-0, let's get it going. The Leafs don't score again. They do not score again, and it's just sad. Watching this team, we understand what we're supposed to be going through. But it's just still so difficult, right? Being able to watch this team win as of late, right? Over the past little while, they've been winning a lot of games, and now seeing them play the last two games, and I mean, the way they've come out of the All-Star break has not looked too pretty, if you ask me. You lose 6-3. It was 6-3. And then you lose 5-1 today. That's not good. Not good at all. It's kind of scary, but you know what? We got to take this as it is, right? This is a team that is growing, that is developing, that is going in the paint. As a young team, you expect this. You expect them to be good, then awful, then really good, then awful. I mean, you're going to see that, and that's what we've seen this year from the Toronto Maple Leafs. But right, we saw the tough start, right? And then they got really streaky, and then they got really good, and now they've hit a roadblock. Be quiet. So, I mean, we got to look at this as like it's a little bump in the road. Can the Leafs come back from this? Of course there is. There's lots of hockey to play. There's a whole ton of hockey to play. And I think this is one of the biggest games of the year, if not the biggest game of the year. If we're talking playoff-wise, this is the way to go. The Leafs are in Boston to take on the Bruins on Saturday night. I mean, nothing bigger than that, right? And Boston's been sitting for a few days. Well, they played yesterday against Washington and lost. But they would have had a few days off. And Hockey Night in Canada, 7 o'clock. It's gonna be a great game to watch, and it's gonna be a big one, right? If the Leafs come away with the win, that's 2 points on Boston, and you still have those games in hand. So, yeah, you lose 2 in a row, and you don't look good doing it. It stinks. I get it. But the one positive I can take out of this, one positive, is that they were Western Conference teams. They don't affect you in the standings more or less. Like, you don't give another team in the conference more points. But if I have to look at the last few games, Freddie Anderson has not looked too sharp. Arguably the defense has not been there for him. I'm not going to say it's all Freddie Anderson's fault, but he hasn't looked too good. He had those 2 shutouts going into the All-Star break, and that was great. Since he's come back, 3 goals on 8 shots against Dallas and 5 goals on 31 shots against St. Louis tonight. It's not very good. It's a mix of Freddie and the defense. Getting Morgan Riley back might help the team. Didn't tonight because, you could say, he hasn't played for 6 games. So, and I mean, he's got to get his legs underneath him and all that kind of stuff. And you're playing a Blues team that's going through a lot right now. Just fired, obviously, Ken Hitchcock. So they got a new start They're fired up, ready to start fresh, start new, and they get a win. And the Leafs aren't going to be doing that anytime soon, right? Firing a head coach. They do that, they're stupid. Not just stupid, they're like mental, right? So, tough loss, though. I think I think the one thing we can all take away from this game is that it was tough. We went down, we were up 1-0, okay. The Leafs really didn't have much momentum, throughout the game. The shots were pretty even, though, 31-27 for St. Louis, but the momentum just didn't seem... I would love to see time on attack numbers, right? I'm pretty sure that St. Louis had a ridiculous amount of zone time, and it was just comedy of everything. And a couple things that, it's like since we came back from the All-Star break, things have been like the total opposite, really. You look at it, right? The Leafs had the best power play and best penalty kill on the road, right? They had that kind of deal going. Well, I think they gave up one against Dallas, and they given up one tonight. They were St. Louis was 1 for 2. It's not very good penalty killing wise. Power play wise, if I'm not mistaken, I'll go back and check. But I don't think that when the Leafs played Dallas that they scored a power play goal. If the Leafs scored a power play goal. Okay, they did 1 for 2. Okay, I'm not gonna. All right. But they were 0 for 3 tonight. So the Leafs did have their opportunities to get back in this game. Even they had a power play in the third period, lots of chances, no goals. Puck was bouncing for you guys in the first half, and they capitalized. The first 2 games have not gone your way. They got to regroup, and they got to show up in Boston because that's a game that you want to win. Even though the Leafs have lost their last 2 games, they're still only, 3 points back of the Bruins. It's not far at all. So with a win against Boston, you have what? You'd have 4 games in hand, right? You'd have 4 games in hand, and you'd only be 1 point behind. It's very serviceable if you get the win in regulation. Hey, it's still doable. We just got to take this one on our shoulders and say, that sucks, because it really did suck. I'm not beating around the bush. That wasn't just like oh shoot, they didn't play too good. No, they sucked. The Leafs sucked tonight. They didn't look good. Defensively, a ridiculous amount of breakaways given up. I don't know how many it was. At least like 4 or 5 breakaways. I don't even know if they scored on one, to be honest with you. But, it's a game where the Leafs don't play well, and they get shown pretty much how to play hockey. That's really what it was there tonight, and it sucked. So, guys, that is going to do it for this one. If you guys enjoyed the video, hey, hit that like button. I do appreciate that. Comment down below. Why did I skip the comment? Hit the subscribe button if you guys haven't already. It's a weird one. It's been the Toronto teams have been not playing well of late, and I don't like it. But I'm kind of used to it over the past, how many years are we talking? So, guys, comment down below what you guys thought of the game. Whose fault would you give it to? The defense? Would you give it to Freddie? Let me know what you guys think, and we'll talk to you guys tomorrow night, Raptors edition. Raptors Magic. The Raptors need a win. They need to get back in the column. They need to start winning some games. And we'll also talk to you guys, like I said, Saturday night, Leafs edition. Leafs at TD Garden to take on the Bruins. See you guys then.